Good morning and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is wonderful to have everybody gathered together as we celebrate Shabbat, and nobody's here for a special occasion, right? Just Shabbat, just a normal one. In a moment, I'll tell you a little bit more about our prayer book, but just to take this moment and enjoy being together in each other's presence, we'll begin with the words of Hine Matov on page 10. So there are many familiar faces here this morning, and we certainly have guests. I hope that all of you picked up one of our prayer books on the way in. You will want to make sure it says Shabbat on the side. If it says weekdays and festivals, you may want to switch it because the page numbers will be meaningless otherwise. There's a few more of us here than a normal Shabbat, so we may have gone into parts of the book carts we don't normally do. For those who are less familiar with our prayer book, most pages are sort of set up into 4 sections. Consider this all one page. So we will typically do the Hebrew, the translation, or one of the thematic readings, and then go ahead and turn the page. We'll give you lots of page numbers as we go. If you can read the Hebrew when we're doing Hebrew, you are welcome to follow along or try to follow in the transliteration, or you can explore elsewhere on the page. That is totally fine. Jonah will begin on page 66.
Each of us enters this sanctuary with a different need. Some hearts are full of peace and gratitude, overflowing with love and joy. They are eager to confront the day, to make the world a better place. They are recovering from illness or have escaped misfortune. We rejoice with them. Some hearts ache with sorrow, disappointments weigh heavily on them. Families have been broken, loved ones lie on a bed of pain. Death has taken a cherished loved one. May our presence and caring bring them comfort. Some hearts are embittered. Ideals are betrayed and mocked, answers sought in vain. Life has lost its meaning and value. May the knowledge that we, too, are searching restore our hope and renew our faith.
We continue our service on page 74 with the words of Matovu.
continue on the top of page 77. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware. We would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh kol basar umafli la'asot. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai my God, and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is the living soul and breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher beyado nefesh kol chai v'ruach kol basar ish. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sachvivina lechachmin ben yom u'ben laila. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Pokeach livrim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hanotein le'ayef koach. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Ha'ma'avir sheina me'enai utmuna ve'afapai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, She'asani b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, She'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, She'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Oter Yisrael b'tifara. Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. O Adonai our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths, and the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, our descendants, and the descendants of all your people Israel may know you, by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches us Torah to your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, hamalmed Torah le'amo Yisrael. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come, that they are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all.
We continue on page 106. יברח ירטב ימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב והימרו יהי שמרה במברך להלה מולל מעל מיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתבהר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה לשמי דקודשה להלה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה בנחמתה דמירד בעלמה והימרו. Please rise as we turn to page 108.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvrei choshech osei shalom uvrei et hakol hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha b'rachamim uvtuvo mechadesh v'chol yom tamid ma'aseh bereshit ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulang v'chochma asita mala'ah haaretz kinyanecha titbarach Adonai Eloheinu Al Shevach Maaseh Yadecha Ve'al Meorei Or She'asita Yitbaruch HaSela Or Chadash Al Tzion Ta'ir V'nizkeh Kulanu Mehera Le'oro Baruch Atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot. How deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion, on account of our forebears whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life. Be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. Enlighten our eyes with your Torah, focus our minds on your mitzvot, unite our hearts in love and reverence for your name. Then we will never feel shame, never deserve rebuke, never stumble. Have trusted in your great and awesome holiness. We shall celebrate your salvation with joy. Gather us in peace from our four corners of the earth, and lead us upright to our land. For you, O God, work wonders. You choose us. Truly, you drew us near to your great name, that we might acknowledge you, declaring you one in love. Praise be you, Adonai, who chooses your peaceful Israel in love. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha V'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta b'ham, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlektecha b'derech,
בשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Please turn to the bottom of page 121 as we pray responsively. The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else. May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore. You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart. The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asks God. Why know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the needs of the needy. Praise to God Most High. Blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
Yisrael, ufedei chinumecha Yehuda v'Yisrael. Goalenu Adonai Tzavaot Shemo Kadosh Yisrael. Baruch Ata Adonai, Gaal Yisrael.
Please rise and turn to page 124 for the Amidah.
Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Zeilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomelech Chasadim Tovim, V'Kornei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imaot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo v'Ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, b'chayei hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia. Mashiv haruach morid hagashem, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, somech nochlim verofeh cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar. V'chamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, melech memit u'mechaye, u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lechayot hakol, baruch atah Adonai, mechaye
You may be seated. Please turn to the top of page 135 and pray with me. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Be
acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of the day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai. Chato shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot.
Take a moment for private prayer and silent meditation.
Words can be found on page 142. Yehiyu liratzon imrefim refim megon libi lifkanecha. Yehiyu liratzon imrefim refim megon libi lifkanecha. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, רצונים רפים רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לי רצונים רפים רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי Adonai Tzuri Begoali Adonai Tzuri Adonai Tzuri Adonai Tzuri Begoali.
As we prepare for the Torah service, which Jonah has been preparing for about a year, we will turn, the rest of you maybe a little less, we'll turn to page 244, and as I invite you to rise, I also invite forward those will be opening the Ark and in the Torah Pass. Page 244. This is the part you've been waiting for. Our tradition teaches that Moses received the Torah at Sinai and transmitted it to Joshua, who transmitted it to the elders, to the prophets, to the men of the Great Assembly, because of course back then it was all men, and so on through all of the generations since Sinai. And Jonah, you have been studying for years. And today you officially become the next link in this chain of Torah transmission, that you will officially become not only a student of Torah, but a teacher of Torah to our people. And we are proud of you. Our Torah portion, that's loud. Our Torah portion this morning comes from Parshat Noach. For those who grabbed a Plout Torah commentary on the way in, the selection that Jonah will be reading from begins with Genesis chapter 7, verse 17 on page 61. If you did not grab a book on the way in, there will be a translation following the reading, so you will just have to pay attention. You ready?
Yeah. No.
Try and sound a little more confident.
Sure.
And for those who may be a little less familiar with the book of Genesis, Parshat Noach is in fact the story of Noah. It involves a large boat and a lot of rain. You'll hear more about it. It needs a little less introduction than some of our other Torah portions. And for the honor of the first Aliyah, I call forward / you are already here, one set of your grandparents for the blessing. And if you want to show them where we start. Yep.
I need that.
And where did this yod come from? Catherine?
Yeah.
And the yod that he is using is not one of our usual yods, but a gift that was given to Jonah for his Bar Mitzvah. So if you point there, then they will start.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach leolam vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach leolam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayehi המבול 40 יום על הארץ, וירבו המים, ויישאו את התיבה ותערום מעל הארץ. ויגברו המים, וירבו מאוד על הארץ, ותלך התיבה על פני המים, והמים גברו מאוד מאוד על הארץ, ויחוסו כל ההרים הגבוהים אשר תחת כל השמיים. 15 אמה מלמעלה גברו המים, ויחוסו ההרים. ויקבע כל בשר הרומס על הארץ, בעוף ובבהמה ובחיה ובכל השרץ השורץ על הארץ, וכל האדם, כל אשר נשמע רוח חיים באפיו, מכל אשר בחרבה מתו, וימח את כל היקום אשר על פני האדמה, מאדם עד בהמה, עד רמס ועד עוף השמיים, וימחו מן הארץ. וישאר אך נוח, ואשר איתו בתיבה.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'hayei olam natav v'koheinu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Yasher Choach, and the translation will be read by Sydney.
40 days the flood was upon the earth. The waters increased and lifted the ark, and so it rose over the ground. The waters gained in strength, increasing upon the earth as the ark coursed over the water's surface. High, high above the earth towered the waters, so that the tallest mountains that stand beneath the heavens were submerged. 15 cubits higher the waters towered as the mountains were submerged. Then all flesh that swarmed upon the earth perished, whether bird, cattle, or wild animal, or that which teemed over the earth, or human being. Whatever on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils died. God wiped out all that existed on the face of the earth, human, beast, reptile, birds of the sky. They were wiped off the earth. There remained only Noah and those with him in the ark.
For the honor of the second Aliyah, we call forward Jerry and Maxine Halasz and Rachel for the translation.
What's this, a microphone?
I think you might have seen one or two of those in your life.
Pardon me?
I said, I think you might have seen a microphone or two in your life.
Never seen a microphone in my entire life.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Baruch hu Adonai hamborach.
Baruch Adonai hamborach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamborach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bochar banu mikol ha'amim, v'notan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayigberu hamayim al haaretz 50 u'ma yom. Vayizkor Elohim et Noach ve'et kol hachaya ve'et kol habehema asher ito bateva. Vayaver Elohim ruach al haaretz. Vayashochu hamayim. Vayisachru maino tehom. Varubot hashamayim. Vikale hageshem min hashamayim. Vayashuvu hamayim. Me'al haaretz haloch vashov. Vayachseru hamayim. Mikzeh 50 yom. V'tanach hateva. V'chodesh hashvi'i. V'shiv'a asar yom. Chodesh al ha'ararat. V'hamayim hayu haloch v'chasor. Archa chodesh ha'asiri. Ba'asiri be'echad la'chodesh. Nir'u reisheh harim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chai olam nota b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
And the waters towered over the earth 150 days. God then remembered Noah and all the animals and all the beasts that were with him in the ark. So God caused a wind to sweep over the earth, and the waters subsided. The springs of the deep and the sky's floodgates closed up, and the rain was stopped up from the sky. The waters diminished a space, ebbing and flowing, draining from the earth, and at the end of 150 days the waters had receded. In the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark came to rest atop one of the mountains of Ararat. The waters kept on ebbing away until the 10th month. On the first day of the 10th month, the mountain peaks could be seen.
For the honor of the third Aliyah, we call forward Doug and Stephanie Levine and Lindsay Halasz for the translation.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayehi miketz 40 yom. Vayiftach Noach et chalon hateva asher asa. Vayishalach et ha'oref vayetze yatzo vashov ad yivashet hamayim me'al ha'aretz. Vayishalach et hayonah me'ito lir'ot hakalu hamayim me'al pnei hadama. V'lamatzah hayonah me'noach l'chaf raglah. V'tashov elav el hateva ki mayim al pnei chol ha'aretz. V'yishalach yado v'yikacheha ve'ota elav el hateva. Vayachel od shivat yamim acherim. Vayosef shal katayona min hateva. Vatavo elav hayona le'et erev. Vehine ala zayit taraf bafiha. Vayeda Noach ki kalu hamayim me'al ha'aretz. Vayachel od shivat yamim acherim. וישלח את היונה ולא יספה שוב אליו עוד. ויהי ב1,600 שנה בראשון ב1 לחודש חרבו המים מעל הארץ. ויסר נוח את מכסה התיבה וירא והנה חרבו פני האדמה. ובחודש השני ב17 יום לחודש יבשה הארץ.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Forty days later, Noah opened the ark's window that he had made, and sent out the raven, who went winging to and fro, waiting for the water to dry up from upon the earth. Then he sent out the dove to see whether the water had eased from off the surface of the soil. But the dove could not find a resting place for her foot, so she returned to the ark, for still there was water on the face of the earth. He reached out his hand and took her, bringing her back to him into the ark. He waited yet another 7 days, and again sent the dove out of the ark. Toward evening the dove came to him, and look, a freshly plucked olive branch in her beak. So Noah knew that the water had eased from off the earth. He waited yet another 7 days, and sent the dove out. This time she no longer came back to him. In Noah's 601st year, on the first day of the first month, the water had receded from over the earth. When Noah removed the covering of the ark, he saw that the earth's surface was beginning to dry, and by the 27th day of the second month, the earth had dried up.
Yasher Koach. And now, for the fourth and final Aliyah, which is the first time as Bar Mitzvah that Jonah will be able to bestow these blessings on behalf of the congregation, which makes this the central part of this Bar Mitzvah service. Ya'amod le'aliyah, Yona Eliyahu le'aliyah Bar Mitzvah. And where did it go? Jordan, right? Yes. Jordan will be reading the translation.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Ba'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah. וידבר אלוהים אל נוח לאמור, צא מן התיבה אתה ואשתך ובניך ואנשי בניך איתך, כל החיה אשר איתך מכל בשר, בעוף ובבהמה ובכל הרמס על הארץ, היצא איתך ושרצו בארץ ופרו ורבו על הארץ. ויצא נוח ובניו ואשתו אנשי בניו איתו, כל החיה, כל הרמס וכל העוף, כל רומס על הארץ, למשפחותיהם יצאו מן התיבה. ויבן נוח מזבח לאדוני, ויקח מכל הבהמה הטהורה Umikol ha'ov hatahor vayal olo b'mizbeach. Baruch.
Your tie was caught on the Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam notah betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
God then spoke to Noah, saying, Go out of the ark with your wife, your sons, and their wives. Take every animal that is in your care, bird and beast, and all that creep over the earth. Let them swarm on the earth, let them be fruitful and multiply on the earth. So Noah went out, together with his wife, his sons, and their wives. The animals, the reptiles, the birds, everything that teems upon the earth, all departed from the ark in family groups. Noah then built an altar in honor of the Eternal. Taking some pure beasts and some pure birds, he offered up whole burnt offerings on the altar.
Now you get to breathe. All the rest of the Hebrew has vowels. At this time, I'll invite those who are able to rise. As the Torah is lifted, we will turn to page 252. And I invite forward Mike and Terry Halasz for the lifting and dressing of the Torah.
You may be seated.
Good job, buddy.
You ready for this? Oh, you want the same thing? We'll now continue with the Haftarah reading, which, for those not familiar, the Haftarah is a selection from the prophets that is usually thematically connected to the Torah reading. This particular one mentions the waters of Noah, so the connection is rather obvious. If you have a Torah commentary, the reading can be found on page 85.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'niv'im tovim v'ratzah b'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah Uv'Moshe Avdo, Uv'Yisrael Amo, Uv'Nevi'eh Ha'emet V'Tzedek. Rani Yakara Lo Yalada Pitzchi Rina Vitzahali Lo Chala Ki Rabim Benishma Mema Ibne Be'ula Amar Adonai Har'ivi Mekom Oholech Ve'ir Od Mishkenotaich Yatu Al Tachsochi Harechi Mitarayich Vidotaich Azeki Ki Amin Usmo Tifroti V'zarech Goyim Yirash Ve'arim Nishmot Yoshivu Altari Kilo Tevoshi Ve'alt Kalmi Kilo Tachpiri Ki Voshet Alumayich Tiskachi Vecher Pat Amenutayich Lo Tiskri Od Ki Beulayich Osayich Adonai Tsevaot Shemo V'goalech Kedosh Yisrael Elohei Chol Haaretz Yikareh Baruch Atah Adonai Melech Haolam Sor Kol Halomim Sadik B'chol Hadorot Ha'al HaNe'eman Homer Ve'oseh Hamidaber U'Mekayem Shekol Rav Emet V'Tzedek Al HaTorah Ve'al HaAvodah Ve'al HaNevi'im Ve'al Yom HaShabbat Hazeh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lechavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarchim otach yitbarach shimcha befi kol chai u'milelam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat.
Ethan, you may use the microphone.
Sing, O barren woman who has never given birth. Break out in song, you who have never been in labor. The desolate woman shall have more children than a woman who is married, says the Eternal One. Enlarge the space for your tent. Do not spare the canvas for your dwelling place. Do not hold back. Lengthen your ropes. Drive in your pegs. For you shall spread out to the right and the left. Your offspring shall dispose nations. Cities now deserted shall again be settled. Have no fear, you shall not be put to shame. Do not cringe, your disgrace is at an end. You shall forget the shame of your youth. No more shall you remember your disgrace as a widow. For your husband is your maker, the one called God of the hosts of heaven. And your Redeemer is the Holy One of Israel, called God of all the earth. The Eternal calls you wife again, O once abandoned and brokenhearted, once rejected, says your God, but a young wife still.
Ethan has been waiting his whole religious school career for me to tell him he may use the microphone.
My Torah portion is about Noah and the humongous flood God brought upon the earth. The reason behind this is God noticed that the people of the town Noah had lived in were acting bad. They were fighting, stealing, etc. God did not like this, so God gave Noah a warning of what was going to happen. He said, "Noah, I want you to build a giant boat to protect your family and animals from a flood that will cover the earth." Obviously, God did not say those exact words, but said something similar. Noah tried to warn the people to act better so God would not flood the earth, but they did not listen to him. So Noah and his family started to build this big boat, which took 120 years. When he was finally done building the ark, he still had a little bit more to do. He had to bring 7 pairs of clean animals, including elephants, giraffes, birds, etc. We call this big boat Noah's Ark. So, when he was done building the ark, it started to rain, so he boarded the ark. They were on their way. Now, Noah was able to take his family with him. He brought his wife, his 3 sons, and the wives of his 3 sons. Noah, his family, and all the animals were on the boat for 40 days and 40 nights. Then Noah sent out a raven to see if there was life, showing that the rain had gone. The raven came back with nothing. He then sent out another raven, and it also came back with nothing. Finally, Noah sent out a dove to see if there was life. This time, the dove came back with an olive branch, showing Noah that there was a sign of life. Then, finally, when they got out of the ark, Noah saw a rainbow in the sky. It was a symbol or a sign from God, telling Noah God will never flood the earth like that again. This story has a lot to teach us. For example, God made sure that every animal was on the ark safely. This teaches us the value of taking care of animals. In Hebrew, this is called Sar Ba'alei Chayim. God's mercy applies to all creatures. The Torah has many laws about what humans can and can't do with animals. Judaism teaches that animals have souls and should be treated with compassion. This is part of why I chose to work with 4 Paws for Ability as one of my mitzvah projects. I like spending time with dogs, playing with them, and caring for them. I especially want to help these dogs because it reminds us of how animals and humans can work together to make our world better. The dogs at 4 Paws are training to be support companions to help people who would benefit from their assistance, such as people with diabetes, seizures, mobility needs, autism, and Alzheimer's. These dogs help people participate in things they may not be able to do without them and keep them safe. At 4 Paws, I volunteered and helped with dogs by taking them outside and playing with them and giving them treats when they behave or listen to commands. Each session, I would go in and play with about 3 to 4 dogs. As I do more volunteering, I will be able to do things like walk them, take them off the property, bathe them, help with laundry, etc. In my Torah portion, it also teaches us about the importance of listening to God's commands and behaving well. Helping train the dogs at 4 Paws was another way I could put this Torah portion's lesson into action. If you know me, you know I love baseball. So, the second part of my mitzvah project was collecting money and equipment for pitching for softball and baseball, which will go to communities all around the world for teams who don't have good equipment or to coaches who don't have enough money to support their team. While my teammates and I are fortunate to have all the equipment we need, I know that the lack of access to proper equipment means other kids like me can't enjoy the game I love. It was great how Noah helped all the animals, but I wish he had helped other people get safely on the ark too. By sharing equipment with others, it's like making our ark bigger. I hope that as a bar mitzvah, these actions and those I do in the future, I will become a mensch, a good person in general, like Noah. Thank you to everyone who helped and prepared me for this day. First, I want to say thank you to Rabbi Soba for teaching me all of my Torah and Haftorah and helping me prepare for this day. I would also like to say thank you to my mom, or also known as Rabbi Jonah Halasz, for teaching me a bunch of stuff about Torah and Hebrew during my preparation, even when I didn't seem like I appreciated it in the moment. I would like to thank soloist Courtney Cummings for your beautiful music, and the pianist Fred Chatfield for your beautiful music. I want to say thank you to my family for pushing me to study harder in my work. I want to thank my dad especially for driving me to tutoring without driving me crazy and setting me up on Zoom when my tutorings were online. I would also like to thank my brother Ethan for reminding my parents when I didn't study yet or for giving giving me time to study when I needed to, even if you wanted to play a game with me. I would like to thank all my friends from my baseball team, Go Elks, from school, religious school, and camp for coming here to celebrate this special day with me. Finally, I would like to thank everyone who came here today from all over the country, and I want to give a special shout out to my Grandpa Howard and Anna B, who are unfortunately unable to make the trip here. Thank you everybody for being here today.
In typical fashion, I forgot to actually print out what I was going to say to you, so I need to find where I emailed it to myself. Here we go. Hopefully this will open. If not, I'm going to have to memorize it. Okay, well, I can't open it, so. You have it? Sorry. Shows you how much she trusts me. Ah, there it is. Perfect. There's a reason they call me her liability. So, Jonah, I knew you were going to be special not long after you were born. You probably don't remember this, and if you do, there's something wrong. But you were in the nursery at Miami Valley Hospital, and your two grandmothers were watching you through the window. All of a sudden, you rolled over and got on all fours and glared at them. Something to the effect of Mimi turned to Granny, and I think they both agreed that they saw it, but we're going to agree that they didn't see it because they just couldn't believe it. That was one of the few times you've had that kind of a look on your face, because normally you were just a happy and chubby little guy with a great personality, and the only thing that's changed now is you're not chubby. You're still that happy guy with a great personality and not so little anymore. Anyone who knows you even a little can attest to that because you've always had a big heart and you've always been a caring person. So when you decided what you were going to do for your mitzvah project, that did not shock me in the least. We heard from your teachers at Hillel myriad times how you always help the younger students. And most recently, your conference at Watts Middle School, your advisor told us you always participate in class and you're always helpful. So you definitely got your studiousness from your mother, which studiousness is a word, I looked it up, and your tendency to rush through your work from me. But you always put forth your best effort at everything you do and strive to do your best and be your best. When you made the 12U Centerville baseball team, Coach Cosme told me that your all-out hustle, your baseball IQ, your willingness to listen, your positive attitude were huge factors. Today you showed that as well. When you were working on your Haftorah and you were frustrated because you didn't think you were doing it right. But you know what? You nailed it. Just like you nailed your Torah portion, I never had a doubt. We're also very proud of you despite the fact that you're being a goofball who hits the gritty instead of walking everywhere. And one of these days I'll figure out how to do that. I know you have aspirations of earning a college scholarship to play baseball, and as long as it's not to that team up north, I'll be thrilled. But if that doesn't happen, I know you'll do great things because of those attributes that Coach Cosme talked about. Just remember, you can do anything you put your mind to, and don't let anyone tell you you can't. I'm not going to take up any more time because I can't wait to dig into the Caesar salad from Bernstein, so I'm going to turn this over to your mother.
If only he was kidding. Jonah, my sweet boy. Don't. Uh-oh, for me and not him? Really? Wow. My heart is so full right now. Your dad and I are so incredibly proud of you, not just today, but every day. I know sometimes it can be hard to be what we call a rabbi's kid or an RK. Your temple family has watched you grow up before their eyes. I'm going to cry. This is not good. It is something really special to have such a large and loving community here. But sometimes, I know, sorry, I cry for everything. It puts quite a bit of pressure on you. It's true. You were especially nervous, I know, about today. It is a little bit of a larger crowd than our regular Shabbat services. Please know that all of us here admire you for your hard work and hope that you can feel the love and support that comes from being a part of a large community. You did fabulous. You knocked it out of the park. Look at that, a sports reference. But not because of how you read from the Torah and Haftarah, which you did beautifully, not to worry, but simply because of who you are and how you embody Torah in so many ways already. You demonstrate your commitment to Jewish life and learning every day, and I am so incredibly proud of you. Not just for your hard work that you put into your studies, but because, again, of who you are. Jonah, even before you were born, you were drawn to the words of Torah. Every time one of my B'nai Mitzvah students would practice chanting, you woke up. You'd start kicking, or maybe it was dancing. And since then, your experiences at Temple's Religious School, Hillel Academy, and Gucci have helped guide you on your Jewish journey, and it's one that will last for a lifetime. As your mom, and also, I'll admit, a bit as a rabbi, it is my prayer that you will continue to study, develop a personal understanding of Torah, and discover the strength, joy, and spirituality found in meaningful Jewish living. I can't do this. He did great. We, your family, and your congregation appreciate having you in our lives. Like the Yonah in your Torah portion, the dove, you brought us hope and a promise of a better tomorrow. You are a calming presence. You are kind, compassionate, and sensitive, supportive and affectionate. I don't know whose this is, but it's mine now. Hope you're not sick. You are one of the best huggers and snugglers that I know. You're also funny. One of. I didn't say the best. One of. And that was specifically also for Ethan. I was careful. You are also funny, fun to be around, and full of joy. You have a great sense of humor and an infectious laugh. You always bring a positive attitude to everything you do, especially when you're playing baseball. You're smart, driven, passionate, creative, and unafraid to be yourself. You actively build community and look after others, especially your little brother, and lots of animals, perhaps, an artful. May all of these wonderful qualities get stronger as you get older, because you are so special to me, and I couldn't be any more proud of you. I love you, and mazel tov. Can I have a hug? Thank you. I love
you. Jonah, I've had the pleasure of watching you grow from when I started here at Temple, and I think you were a first grader, through today. And I just want to start by saying how proud I am of the young man you have become. Way back at the start of your Bar Mitzvah tutoring, when we first talked about your portion, I believe you said your favorite part was, quote, the flood story. Yeah, that didn't narrow down his portion a whole lot. And so we dug into your portion a bit more, and I remember you saying that you wanted to make sure that you read the part you did, because it had the doves in it, and not just because that was your name, which Jonah or Yonah in Hebrew is dove, for those who don't know. In the Torah text, we see the dove becoming a symbol within Jewish tradition. Noah sends out the dove, and it returns empty-handed, and then with the olive branch, and then does not return, showing that it was able to find not only signs of life, but somewhere to stay and nest that was safe, without needing to return to the ark for shelter and food. This story is the basis of the dove being a symbol of peace, of healing, and of hope for the Jewish people. A piece of the story that we tend to skim over, but you made sure got in your drash, was that before Noah sends out the dove, he sends out a raven that merely goes to and fro. The rabbis of the Talmud seem curious about this shift from the raven on the first attempt to the dove getting 3. They imagine that the raven didn't do such a thorough search of the land, but rather stayed near the ark. And they posit that it was because the raven complained about being chosen for this special task and not really wanting it, worried that if something happened to him, the raven species would be wiped out since there was only one pair, while there were 7 pairs of doves. Thus, rather than fulfill his task, he stays close to the safety of the ark, keeping an eye on things at home. The raven, because of this, gets kind of a bad rap amongst the rabbis. And so they ask the question, why was it, if the raven was not so trustworthy, was it chosen for the task in the first place? One answer that Rabbi Joshua Heller gives is that it was to give the raven a chance to exceed its reputation and succeed in its mission, to give the underdog a chance. As you continue to grow and take responsibility for yourself and your Jewish learning, I hope that you continue to exhibit the traits of the dove that you already have, its gentleness and loyalty that make it that symbol of peace, hope, and healing. I see this in you. You're not always the loudest voice in class, but you always have something thoughtful to share. You have the dove's loyalty, and not just to your sports teams. And just as the dove didn't seek out something super sweet, but the more humble olive branch, you show humility in your interactions here at Temple, and from what I hear on the baseball field and everywhere else too. And I imagine, like Noah, you will look out for the ravens you encounter to give the underdogs a chance as well. You are surrounded today by your friends, by your family, by your Temple community. Everybody is here today because of you. We are all a part of your team, so I want you to take a moment to look around. Really see them. Oh, you can do better than that. When you feel like there are storms raging in your life, when the rain is pouring down and the baseball game's been washed out, remember all of these people who are here today, all of those who are watching on the live stream, and all of those who are here in spirit. And remember that we are all here for you, to help you grow and to cheer you on as you go. We'll turn back into our prayer books to page 256. We'll be returning the Torah to the Ark, and I'd like to call forward Scott, Elaine, and Miriam Sachs to open and close our Ark. And Jonah, there are just a few rabbis in your life. Some of them are here in this room, and they may or may not know this yet, but I am also going to call them forward to bestow the priestly blessing upon you as we return the Torah to the Ark as well. So if you are a rabbi in this room, you're up.
And
Please rise.
Please rise. We continue with the words of Aleinu, which you can find on page 282.
Page 285.
Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corporation and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all, created in your image, become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever.
Now the fun part. It's my pleasure to invite forward Linda Novak on behalf of Temples Board and Federations Board, and Dr. McCauley, I can speak English, on behalf of Hillel, to offer some words to you as well.
Congratulations, you did a beautiful job and a very meaningful service. Thank you for allowing us to join you on this special day. This is a certificate from Temple Israel, as you are called to the Torah. Jonah, you did a beautiful job. Here you go. And a Kiddush cup from Temple for you for, I hope, many, many years to come. You will find use for it.
Just in case you don't have one at home.
Yeah. Okay, and we have a $250 gift certificate towards a trip to Israel. Not a trip to Israel, but towards a trip to Israel for you, for further use. And from Federation, this is a letter from the Bettman family, and says, Dear Jonah, tzedakah is the Hebrew word for the acts that in English we call charity, and is derived from the word tzaddik, which means righteousness, justice, or fairness. The giving of charity and performance of righteous acts, therefore, is deeply ingrained in our Jewish ideals, values, and consciousness. As you begin your adult Jewish life, the Bettman family, through the Jewish Federation of Greater Dayton, is pleased to present this beautiful, personalized tzedakah box crafted by artist Gary Rosenthal. It is our hope that this special day and this gift will inspire you throughout your life to connect to your Jewish heritage through Masim Tovim, righteous deeds, Tikkun Olam, the repair of the world, and tzedakah, charity. And so on behalf of the Bettman family and the Jewish Federation of Greater Dayton, Mazel Tov, and may every occasion be as sweet as this one. Thank you.
Jonah, we are so very pleased to share this exciting moment with you. And we're certainly proud of you, particularly for your command of Hebrew this morning and your thoughtful Parsha reflection. This comes, of course, as no surprise. In preparing for today, I went back to some of your old progress reports. And I started with kindergarten, and I found there that a teacher said, your kindergarten teacher said, Jonah is inquisitive, enjoys being challenged, and does very good work. And I know we can say that each of those qualities was very evident this morning. So congratulations. Now, I did read a few more comments, and some of those comments also jumped out at me about how well you apply knowledge, and that was also really part of what you were doing today with your mitzvah projects. They said you learn in new and creative ways and always applied what you were learning to something new. And I would say that you were certainly a wonderful problem solver, whether it was solving a math puzzle or it was taking a role in a play and really making it your own. Finally, there were some variations on a theme of being a good role model and leader, being kind and helpful, and lending a hand when needed. Dan?
So I want you to keep in mind those last words, being kind and helpful and lending a hand when needed. Kind and helpful, lending a hand when needed. I'm going to take a slight detour here. First of all, Rabbi Scott, congratulations. Just what a wonderful job they've done with you, and you're so lucky to have them as parents. Scott, I feel your pain. Kathy wrote her notes, and then I had mine. Actually, I feel Kathy's pain. I want to take a slight detour, and I love the fact that you had a baseball theme. I thought, Rabbi Tina, also congratulations on the preparation you've given Jonah, but I honestly wasn't sure that this day was chosen because of the reading and the Parsha. I thought it had to do with the first day of the World Series, and that was last night, and that it was a great game last night, and that you had timed it just for that. Right? Mostly I'm appreciative of the fact that it yet again gives me an opportunity to talk about my beloved Detroit Tigers. Thanks. Ouch. And yet share one more story, first of all about baseball. It's not a surprise that this is your sport. It's not a surprise at all, because this is a sport that is steeped in tradition, rich heritage, and lots of legacy that comes down to you as a player. And when you're on the field, it's behind you. It's part of you, but you are a part of it. This gives me a chance also to just share yet one more story about Hank Greenberg, one of the finest baseball players to have ever touched the field, and of course, the fabulous Detroit Tiger. Hank had a great legacy with the Detroit Tigers, but what I wanted to talk to you about is in his final year, which I think is 75 years ago, from 1947, he was traded in the last year of his contract to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hank was not real happy about that, and it was really a sad and tough moment for him. It coincided with the fact that one Jackie Robinson happened to be playing that year, and Jackie going to Pittsburgh was a tough thing because he had been receiving death threats. He had been threatened with the kidnapping of his son, and in addition to all the vile and horrible things that went on for Mr. Robinson. So the scene is this. Jackie takes the field, or Jackie takes the bat, and what he did was he laid down, of course, a perfect bunt. He runs with all of his might, and he runs right into Hank Greenberg on first base. It's a big smash and a big splatter. Jackie Robinson winds up on the deck, And the game goes on. The next inning, guess who's up bat? Hank. He walks to first base, and the first thing he did was put his arm around Jackie Robinson and say, "Hey, you okay?" Jackie said, "I'm good." Then, in addition to that, Hank leans over, and this is from Jackie Robinson the next day. He leans over and tells, Hank has told Jackie, "Hey, all this stuff, all the hate stuff, ignore it. You're going to be great. You're going to do really, really well. Just get on with it." They become fast friends. Jackie goes on to becoming Jackie Robinson. He always was. Hank eventually becomes the manager of Cleveland Indians, where he refused to stay in any hotel that wouldn't take all of his team. Hank and Jackie went on and on to support people in the future. Why am I telling you this? The reason is, fast forward to the Hillel playground. And I want to have, I see Chava and Noah, I got Seth, Jake over here. They will attest to the conditions at Hillel's playground, which are, it's a beautifully manicured bed of rock and stone slathered over blacktop. It was on this that I never got a chance to see you play baseball. I never did. It wasn't that kind of a place. But I saw you and your friends play tons of football. Those games were heated. They were rough. There might have been an argument or two. And recess was never long enough for the game that they were playing. So fast forward to, here was a day when, and I want to think, I can't remember who it was. Ethan, I want to think it was you. I won't swear to it, and it's probably something that your older brother has completely forgotten. The game is going on. There's lots of pushing, shoving, fast play. It was a lot of fun. One little guy hits the deck, and while the game goes on, Jonah immediately drops, puts his arm around this kid, and says, "How you doing?" Remind you of anybody? So the game goes on. Jonah stayed there until I could get over there and be of some help, and he was watching over this young person. That's who you are. Yeah, I know you can't remember. It happened once. At any rate, I told you would forget it, but I remember. So the game goes on, and how is this like you? You are a person who puts your arm around people. In your Pause project, in your baseball project, by extension, what you're doing is living out the legacy that you have here and putting it in action. You did those days when you were helping some other people, you were intensely involved, but you had an idea of what another person was for. And so at any rate, this is where you are. This is the legacy that you have. You are putting your arm around people by the good projects that you're doing and the decisions you're making now and in the future. So congratulations. Best wishes. We're presenting to you this book of daily commentaries about Torah, just reflections that you can have as you go forward. And it's inscribed to you for this day, and we're so proud of you, and we're happy to have you have this. Congratulations. This is for you. Put it underneath right there.
As we begin to conclude our service, we take a moment to remember those who came before us. As a congregation, we recall those who have passed in the most recent days, as we are in a period of Shloshim for Maxine Rubin and Rick Pinsker. And we recall those who died at this season in years past, with the yahrzeits of Natalie Abrahamson, Ann Angel, Henry J. Bell, Earl Bixler, Ruth Busey, David N. Kasher, Ralph Donnenfeld, Max Elbaum, Rabbi Janice Garfunkel, Maurice Golden, Adolf Goldenberg, Harry A. Goldman, Pearl Pearl Cohen Goodman, Milton Hiller, Louis Hirsch, Eva Hoffman, Harry J. Jacobs, Henrietta Lehman, Julian B. Littauer, Abraham I. Margolis, Regina Middleman, Frida Newman, Alfred Orgler, Hedwig Orgler, Walter Orgler, Heinz Orgler, Helmut Orgler, Jeanette Rao, Sarah M. Roth, Arnold Saldoff, Carl A. Stern, and Gertrude Tannenbaum. If there are other names that ought to be added or pronounced differently, I invite you to hopefully share them as my eyes meet yours, though there are a lot more of you than usual. Invite those in mourning or remembering to rise first. So we join them standing as you are able in strength and support for the words of Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma Divrach Hirutei V'yamlich Malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yomechon Uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kariv, Vimru Amen. Yehe Shemei Rabba Mivarach Le'olam Ulalmei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal. Shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Zikronam livracha, that their memories should always and only be for a blessing. Where did Grant go? For our closing song, you may be seated. Grant, I'll let you share a word about our opening song, or closing song. Not opening song. I do have a copy of the program. Where it is at the moment is interesting. I believe the words are in the program.
On the very last page. So when I was asked to lead a closing song, I was curious the theme of the day, if there was a favorite song that Jonah had from camp, and thank you. Aunt Karen responded, "If Not Now" by Terry Newcomer, which are the words that we are going to join together in just a second. I felt it only appropriate that we are all here and celebrating this moment together, celebrating Jonah becoming a Bar Mitzvah, and not knowing if we will ever or when we will be able to share in a beautiful moment like this again. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. We may never see this moment or place in time again. If not now, tell me when. I see sorrow and trouble in this land. I see sorrow and trouble in this land. Although there will be struggle, we'll make the change we can. If not now, tell me when. I may never see the promised land.
I may never see the promised land, and yet we'll make the journey. We'll walk hand in hand. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. We may never see this moment or place and time again. If not now, tell me when. So we'll work until it's done. Every daughter, every son, every soul that ever longed for something better, something brighter. It will take a change of heart. It will take a change of heart for this to mend. It will take a change of heart for this to mend. But miracles do happen every shining now and then. If not now, tell me when. But miracles do happen every shining now and then. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when.
Not now, in a minute, and when I say go. Our tradition teaches that the words of Torah should always be sweet, and that this celebration should be sweet. Hopefully everybody got a small piece of candy. And Jonah, right about now, aren't you really glad you're a baseball player and they can aim? As Courtney and I step off the bima, you may shower Jonah gently. Toss. No baseball pitches. With sweets. 3, 2, 1, go. And now my helpers can help clean up the candy. Feel as though there are some late pitches coming in. All right, my candy helpers, you can take, 3 pieces and then bring me the baskets. I think your grown-ups will appreciate that limitation. We will conclude our service with Kiddush and Motzi, and I believe your camp friends will be helping us. So all the Gucci goers here, please come on forward. Surprise!
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Oh, that's nasty. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lecha
Congratulations, Jonah, for all your hard work. You earned a bite of challah. Let us all join together and wish Jonah a mazal tov on a wonderful Bar Mitzvah service. Yes, that was, in fact, the last page. There is a luncheon in the Great Hall provided by the Halasz family. We hope you will join us. Mazal tov. You can smile at them. What? Did? I will love.
That's all. Yep. There'll be water in the hall. Yep.